Welcome to the Know. I'm Brian. Happy day after Halloween. Did you get a lot of candy? Does your tum-tum hurt? I stole some of my kid's candy. Yeah, he tried to pay me off with a Twizzler because I drove. I'm like, fuck you, kid. This is a Butterfinger favor I did you. All right, game news. We've got some more evidence showing that microtransactions are now a major part of developers' bottom line. And the latest example is Ubisoft, who, like a lot of companies, they recently reported their quarterly earnings. Ubisoft had a good quarter. They made 746 million euro in revenue, which is up 60% from last year. That is huge. Here's the interesting part. 262 million euro of that is from what they call player recurring investment, which, you guessed it, mostly DLC and microtransactions. So that means that more than a third of their revenue is from microtransactions. So sadly, do not expect them to go away anytime soon, but we might not like it. That doesn't mean we have to support it. It looks like you will be able to buy properties in Red Dead Online once it rolls out later this month. Rockstar Intel dug through the game's files and found references to properties in the game that can be purchased. Now, that could be part of the single player campaign, but more than likely it will be part of the online portion of the game. That's set to release in beta form sometime this month. So if you've ever wanted to own a saloon or a brothel of your own, you might soon get that chance. Who hasn't wanted to do that? We got our first look at the remastered version of the PS1 hack and slash Medieval. I gotta say, Sir Daniel Fortesque looks better than ever. The trailer shows off some new gameplay and even has some comparisons with the old school version. The entire game is rebuilt from the grave up, according to Sony, but really it looks like they did a great job. They did a better job with the game than they did with that joke, whatever that was. Medieval, it's coming out next year. This is a really great time for remastered old school games. First Crash, then Spyro, now this. I'm stoked. Capcom has big hopes for a pair of its upcoming games. In a recent financial report, the developer says it has high expectations for Resident Evil 2, that remake, and Devil May Cry 5, both of which are scheduled to release early next year. Resident Evil 2 is due out January 25th. Devil May Cry 5 is scheduled for March 8th, but that means they will both come out at the tail end of this financial year. And according to DualShockers, Capcom said that a bunch of its games, Monster Hunter World, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, they have all sold well. Monster Hunter World in particular has now passed 10 million copies sold, makes it far and away the best-selling title in the series. All right, one of my personal favorite games for the Xbox One is coming to PC. Sunset Overdrive, an open-world third-person shooter. It's set in a mutant apocalypse, got a ton of praise for its meta humor. It has been rated by the ESRB. Not surprisingly, it's rated M for mature, with lots of swearing, violence, sexual references, you know, the good stuff. No release date yet, but if you haven't played it, definitely worth trying out. Oh, and the company that made it, Insomniac Games, went on to make a little something called Spider-Man. All right, entertainment news. Yesterday we told you Naomi Watts was being cast as one of the leads of HBO's Game of Thrones spin-off series that will be taking place many thousands of years before the events of the current series. Now we've got even more casting news. A young actor named Josh Whitehouse has also signed up. Deadline reports Whitehouse will be playing a lead role, but HBO being super tight-lipped about any details beyond that. Now, Whitehouse, probably most known for the BBC series Poldark, this will certainly be the highest profile project of his life, especially if his role is as big as Deadline is reporting. Now, since this is Game of Thrones, we will probably be getting at least 250 more casting announcements before this thing actually starts filming. 250 on the conservative side. Netflix has been canceling shows left and right. American Vandal, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all got the axe, but don't worry, Castlevania fans, you are getting a third season of the animated adaptation of the classic franchise. Producer Adi Shankar announced the news via social media, and Deadline quickly followed up with a story saying that Netflix has ordered another 10 episodes. Season 2 just released last week, so it'll be a second before we get Season 3, but it is coming. All right, in other Netflix news, you may have seen this, but their Witcher series has officially begun production. You may remember Superman himself, Henry Cavill, was cast as Geralt, the white-haired badass. But to celebrate the start of the production, Netflix released a first glimpse of Cavill in the role. I gotta be honest, kind of looks like cosplay to me. He needs some scars, he needs some stubble. Right now, Kind of looks like Superman in a white wig. I'm just saying, what do you think? The series, it's more reportedly influenced by the books than the video games, but pretty fair to assume that some of the game is going to make it into the show. Maybe we'll get Geralt in a bathtub. Maybe he'll be playing Gwent for an entire episode. I hope not. I'm going to skip that episode. All right, that is all the news we've got for you today. Let us know what you think about all these stories in the comments below. And for all your news from every corner of the internet, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to The Know. Also, please check out our website, theknow.tv. If YouTube goes down again, you can check us out there. We're always there. I'm always there. Bye.